Hi everyone, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. I'm really happy you're here. Tonight, we're going to go on a calm and quiet trip to learn something amazing. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy this peaceful science story together. Before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it for you right now? If you like relaxing science videos, don't forget to tap the like button. Now let's begin.
Beneath the stillness of your skin, a quiet river flows. It is not made of water nor of light, but of something both invisible and real, the current of electricity that keeps you alive. Every breath, every blink, every dream is carried on its silent streams. Your heart beats because tiny pulses of charge guide the rhythm of its muscle fibers. Your thoughts shimmer across the surface of your brain because sparks leap between one neuron and the next. Like rivers that carve valleys, these currents shape the landscape of your being, yet you never hear them move. Electricity in the body begins with the smallest of differences, the separation of charges across a delicate membrane. Imagine a cell, tiny as a speck of dust. Its outer skin, a thin wall, separates the salty world inside from the salty sea outside. On one side, more sodium waits. On the other, more potassium rests. The imbalance is like a hidden tension, a spring wound tightly. When a channel in the wall opens, the charges tumble across, and a wave of electricity races down a nerve, faster than thought itself. You feel the warmth of the sun, the brush of the wind, the weight of a memory, because of this dance of ions slipping across an invisible border. Your entire nervous system is a map of these rivers. Billions of neurons stretch like branches, each one ending in fine roots that nearly touch the next. Across the small gap between them, a spark must leap, not always of lightning, but sometimes of chemicals that themselves carry charge. Imagine a starry sky where each star sends out a beam of light, connecting to another. In your brain, the stars are neurons, and the beams are electricity, flickering on and off in patterns too complex to ever fully see. And yet, those patterns are you, your laughter, your sorrow, your quiet moments before sleep. Electricity is not only in your head, it beats in the rhythm of your chest. The heart is a drum, but one that waits for a signal before it strikes. Deep within it lies a cluster of special cells, the pacemaker. Without your command, they send out a ripple of charge and the heart contracts. Again and again, day and night, without rest, these sparks keep time. You may forget them, but they never forget you. A single misfire can be felt as a skipped beat, a flutter in the chest. Entire machines have been built, pacemakers of steel and silicon, to mimic what your body already knows, that life depends on the gentle push of electricity. Even your muscles move only because of charge. To lift your hand, signals travel down your nerves, flooding muscle fibers with ions. Proteins twist, fibers slide, and strength emerges. But behind it all is the quiet current, as though invisible fingers pulled the strings. The twitch of an eyelid, the stretch of a yawn, the stride of a runner, all powered by the rivers flowing inside. Without them, the body becomes still, as if the lights have gone out in a great city. With them, every motion is illuminated, every moment alive. You can almost imagine this electricity as a kind of whisper. It does not roar like thunder. It hums low and constant in the background of your existence. The cells of your eyes, waiting for light, turn photons into sparks. The cells of your ears, listening to the world, translate sound waves into tiny currents. Even your sense of touch, the feel of silk, the sting of cold water is carried by these signals, moving like quicksilver through your nerves. The world outside is always flowing inward through rivers of charge, painting your inner world with sensation. If you think of your body as a night sky, electricity is the constellation that gives it meaning. Each point is a star, glowing faintly, but together they form shapes, memories, lives. When you dream, your brain flickers with electricity as though replaying a secret movie. When you wake, the pattern changes, rearranging itself to meet the light of the day. Sometimes it is chaotic, storm-like, as in seizures where too many sparks fire at once. Other times it is orderly, a quiet rhythm, a steady beat that brings calm. In every state, the language of the body is written in charges, as though nature chose electricity to be the script of life. Scientists study this with electrodes, placing small metal tips against nerves or skin, listening to the hidden rivers. What they hear is not silence, but the crackle of life itself. They can trace the path of a single impulse from fingertip to spine to brain. They can map the pulse of the heart, each wave a signature of health or struggle. They can even listen to the sleep of the brain, where slow waves of electricity roll like tides through the night. These discoveries remind us that within the soft body lies a world of sparks, hidden but essential, fragile yet enduring. Now imagine for a moment that you could see your own electricity. Imagine your nerves glowing faintly, each impulse a spark of light, your heart pulsing with waves of brightness. Your brain a galaxy of flickers forming constellations of thought. You would appear not as flesh and bone, but as a shimmering constellation, alive with motion. The body would look like a night filled with fireflies, each blink a message, each glow a fragment of meaning. You would see yourself as a universe contained within skin, lit by rivers that never stop flowing. What is striking is that these rivers are not endless in strength. They depend on balance, on nutrients, on the fragile chemistry of the body. Too little salt and the signals weaken. Too little oxygen and the sparks fade. The body protects them fiercely, keeping the balance like a gardener tends a garden. But they are delicate. A shock from outside, a bolt of lightning, or a surge from a wire can overwhelm them. Electricity from the world can clash with electricity within, and life can flicker in that instant. And yet without it, life would never have begun. For in the earliest days of Earth, before there were hearts or brains, sparks may have danced between molecules in a warm pond, stirring the first whispers of life. To know that you are made of these currents is to see yourself in a new way. You are not only flesh and thought, but also spark and flow. Every memory you carry, every word you speak, every moment you love or grieve is traced by these rivers. They flow when you laugh with a friend, when you sit quietly under the stars, when you close your eyes and drift into sleep. They are you, but they are also larger than you, part of the same electricity that flows in storms, in magnets, in the stars themselves. The body is a fragment of a universal current, a place where the cosmos hums softly, waiting to be noticed. And so, as you lie in stillness, know that beneath your calm there is movement. Beneath your silence there is song. A symphony of charges plays without pause, weaving the fabric of your days. It asks nothing, it demands nothing, but it carries everything. The hidden rivers of lightning inside you flow on, steady and true, the quiet fire that keeps you here, awake, alive. Electricity is not only the hidden river within you, it is also the breath of the natural world, flowing through forests, oceans, and skies. When lightning cracks across a summer night, you are watching the same forces that guide your thoughts play out on a grander scale. Clouds collide, charges separate, and the sky becomes a stage for a magnificent surge. The ground feels it, the air trembles, and for a moment the earth itself seems to awaken. This drama, vast and thunderous, is born from the same principles as the gentle pulse that makes your heart beat. The universe has only one language for motion of charges, whether in a storm above the mountains or in a neuron hidden deep in your brain. The rhythm of this electricity is found in places where you might least expect it. Plants, silent and still, use tiny currents to guide their lives. Roots sense minerals and water, sending signals that ripple through their tissues. Leaves respond to light, opening and closing in response to minute changes in their cells' charge. Even flowers bloom in part because of small movements of ions across membranes. To watch a forest is to see electricity at work, slow but steady, shaping the green world that surrounds you. Every tree holds rivers of ions flowing in their vessels. Every blade of grass listens to the world through the whispers of charge. In the ocean, electric life glides with grace. The electric eel is perhaps the most dramatic reminder that electricity is not only within us but can be wielded as power. Coiled within its body are stacks of cells that generate shocks strong enough to stun prey or deter predators. But it is not the only one. Rays, catfish, and other creatures use electricity to hunt or protect themselves. Some use it more gently. Sharks and rays sense the faintest currents produced by the beating hearts of smaller fish. In the dark ocean, where sight fails and sound is muffled, electricity becomes a sense, a way of seeing the unseen. Your own skin, too, can feel this subtle current. The hair on your arms rises when a storm brews, responding to charges building in the air. The faint buzz when you touch certain metals, the tingle when you step onto a charged carpet and brush a doorknob, are small reminders of how sensitive you are to electricity. The boundary between body and world is thin, and currents slip easily across it. In that instant, you feel connected, not only to your own hidden rivers, but to the larger flows that surround you, invisible yet everywhere. Scientists began to see this connection centuries ago. In the 18th century, Luigi Galvani discovered that a frog's leg twitched when touched by a metal rod. He believed it revealed animal electricity, a life force unique to living beings. Later, Alessandro Volta built on the idea, realizing that electricity could be generated with metal and brine. From this discovery came the battery, a way to store and release charge at will. What began as a twitch in a frog's leg grew into an understanding that electricity moves through both living tissue and lifeless wire. In this way, science began to bridge the inner rivers with the outer currents, showing them to be part of the same story. Today, the story has grown vast. Power stations hum with turbines, sending currents through wires stretched across continents. Switches click in homes and lamps bloom with light. Computers awaken, phones vibrate, trains move, cities glow. Behind all of it, the quiet drift of electrons along copper paths mirrors the same flow within you. The screen you hold, the lights above you, the hum of machines around you, each is a reflection of the spark within your body. Electricity is not something apart, but something continuous, linking your life to the wider world. Think of how deeply it shapes your existence. When the lights go out, silence grows heavy. Streets fall into shadow, voices hush, and you are reminded of how fragile the balance is. Yet when the current returns, it feels as though life itself has come back. This dependency is not weakness. It is recognition that you and the world both thrive on the same river. The power of the stars fuels the power in your home. The flow of a nerve mirrors the flow of a circuit. Electricity is not just utility, it is kinship. The poetry of this connection deepens when you realize that stars themselves are powered by electricity's sibling, magnetism. Inside the heart of the sun, plasma churns a sea of charged particles, colliding and streaming, giving rise to immense magnetic fields. These fields dance with Earth's own, creating auroras that paint the sky. When you watch the northern lights shimmer, you are watching electricity's artistry on a cosmic canvas. The same forces that stir your neurons are shaping the heavens, uniting the smallest spark with the grandest glow. Even within the stillness of rocks, the echo of electricity remains. Minerals carry charges that move slowly, whispering through crystal lattices. The earth itself is a conductor, grounding storms, balancing the sky's charges with its own. Volcanoes erupt with lightning in their ash clouds, deserts flicker with static when winds stir sand. Everywhere in every scale, charge is present. It is not a human invention. It is not even a biological secret. It is a universal truth, written into matter itself. And yet, though it is everywhere, electricity remains fragile. A circuit breaks and the flow stops. A neuron falters and a memory fades. The current is strong only so long as balance is kept. This fragility gives it beauty, for it reminds you of life's delicacy. Like a flame, it must be tended. Like a river, it must be kept clear. And in tending it, we learn to respect the unseen. Every time you flip a switch or feel your heart pulse, you are participating in a miracle that is both ordinary and profound. There is also mystery left in electricity. Even now, physicists study the electron, this tiny particle that carries charge, and find it is not fully understood. Its mass, its behavior, its connection to the quantum fields that weave reality still raise questions. How does something so small give rise to lightning, to thought, to civilization itself? How does a whispering charge shape both galaxies and dreams? In the uncertainty, wonder grows, and with wonder, humility. As you drift deeper into this thought, notice how the rivers within you echo the rivers outside. Your neurons flow as the wires do. Your heartbeat pulses as the generators do. Your body glows quietly as the earth glows faintly from space. You are not apart from this current, you are part of it. Electricity is not only what powers everything around you, it is what powers you, connects you, and reminds you that you are woven into the fabric of the universe, lit from within and without. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. Storms rolling across the sky, neurons firing in your mind, lamps flickering in distant windows, auroras shimmering at the poles. All of them, from the smallest to the largest, are threads in the same tapestry. The river flows on, unbroken, through all things. The hidden sparks of life and the roaring lightning of storms are one. You are not only surrounded by electricity, you are electricity, breathing, thinking, dreaming, alive. When you think of electricity, it is easy to imagine wires and devices, power lines and glowing bulbs. But electricity has been here long before humans ever learned to harness it. It was here when the first cells on Earth began to stir, when tiny molecules exchanged charges that made reactions possible. In a sense, life began with electricity. Without it, the chemistry of existence might never have awakened. The spark that some scientists believe may have started life in the primordial oceans was a flash of charge, perhaps from lightning striking the seas. F that pulse, something delicate and enduring was born, a cycle of reactions that eventually grew into the vastness of living Earth. Your body is a descendant of that spark. Across billions of years, electricity became the quiet law of life, guiding signals, movements, and growth. Even the smallest bacterium uses it, sending ions across its membrane to balance itself, to live. The same language flows into plants, into animals, into humans. It is as though nature found electricity to be the most gentle, universal thread for weaving life. And so every thought you have, every dream, is tied by lineage to the first sparks that danced in Earth's ancient waters. Consider the wonder of this connection. When you touch a friend's hand, signals rush through your nerves, carrying warmth, carrying sensation. When you look into someone's eyes, tiny currents fire in your brain, allowing recognition, memory, love. When you speak, electrical pulses shape your muscles, move your breath, vibrate your vocal cords. Your life is a constant translation of electricity into experience, of sparks into meaning. You may not feel the currents directly, but they are the medium of every encounter, the fabric that makes living possible. This electricity is not confined within you, it flows between you and the world. The warmth of the sun that touches your skin is the echo of charged particles racing across space. The wind that carries a storm holds within it a potential for lightning. Even the earth itself carries charge, grounding, balancing, stabilizing. You stand upon a planet that is alive with electricity, and within you is the same power, scaled down to the size of a human heart, a human mind. The boundaries blur until you realize that your electricity and the world's electricity are not separate. They are one current, one song, expressed in different tones. When scientists first placed electrodes against the head and saw waves of activity ripple across a screen, they gave names to the rhythms of thought: alpha, beta, delta waves. Slow tides of sleep, quick ripples of focus, soft lulls of relaxation. These patterns are the music of electricity within you. They rise and fall like the ocean, guiding your moods, shaping your awareness. Even when you rest, your brain hums with currents, painting dreams in delicate light. Sleep is not absence but symphony, a slow dance of sparks that refreshes the mind and restores the body. Without these waves, you could not dream, could not heal, could not be. Electricity also carries memory. In the delicate web of neurons, each connection strengthens or weakens as sparks pass through them. The more often a path is traveled, the easier it becomes. This is how you remember a song, a face, a path home. The rivers of charge carve channels in the brain, and along those channels flow your experiences. Memory is electricity engraved in living tissue. When you recall a moment from childhood, you are watching sparks retrace old paths, lighting up a constellation once more. In this way, electricity is not only power but also time, holding the past within its delicate flows. Think also of imagination. When you create something new in your mind, sparks leap between paths that may have never connected before. They form new constellations, new rivers, new meanings. Creativity is electricity finding new routes, weaving patterns unseen before. It is the dance of electrons expressing itself in thought, in art, in story. Your imagination, vast and limitless, is born from the smallest charges, moving quietly yet powerfully through your brain. Without electricity, there would be no art, no song, no wonder, only silence. And as you reflect, notice how gentle it is. Electricity in the body is not violent like a storm. It is measured, balanced, soft. It flows at the right moment, through the right channel, carrying life without breaking it. It is not a flood but a river, not a crash but a whisper. Even in its strength, it is tender. This gentleness is why it works so well, why it has lasted through the ages. A force that can destroy when uncontrolled becomes the essence of life when guided with care. Nature discovered how to tame lightning into thought, and in that taming gave rise to everything you know. Electricity also teaches balance. Too little and the body falters. Too much and it becomes chaos. In seizures, the brain sparks fire all at once, overwhelming the delicate patterns. In arrhythmias, the heart loses its steady rhythm. Balance is not just survival, it is harmony. The rivers must flow neither too fast nor too slow, but just enough. In this, electricity mirrors life itself. Too much or too little of anything can overwhelm, but balance sustains. You are, at every level, a being of balance, maintained by invisible currents that never rest. There is humility in knowing how dependent you are on this flow. A single misstep in the dance of ions can change everything, and yet, for most of your days, it flows without pause, without thought. Your nerves carry sensation, your heart beats, your mind dreams. It is a gift so constant that it often goes unnoticed. But when you do notice, when you pause to feel your own pulse, to sense the quiet hum of life within, it becomes awe. You realize you are both fragile and powerful, both ordinary and extraordinary. Electricity makes you so. And so, as you close this story, imagine yourself once more as a constellation. Neurons spark like stars, the heart pulses like a drum, the muscles shimmer with motion. Around you, the world glows with its own electricity. The storm, the aurora, the city lights, the hum of wires. All of it is part of one great river, flowing through time, through matter, through you. The hidden rivers of lightning inside you are not hidden at all. They are the same currents that light the sky, that began life, that bind you to the universe. They are your quiet fire, your gentle power, your endless spark. And they will flow softly and surely for as long as you live, carrying you through the silence of sleep, the brightness of day, and the wonder of being alive. Electricity is everywhere, though it rarely announces itself. It drifts in silence, flowing invisibly through wires, across skies, beneath oceans. The world around you moves because of this quiet power, this steady current that hums without voice. Cities rise and fall on its rhythm. Lights bloom at dusk because electrons travel unseen. Machines awaken because charges shift from one atom to the next. Every spark is small, but together they form a river wide enough to carry the weight of civilization. The silent sparks that move the world are the unseen heartbeat of modern life. Consider for a moment the way a single switch changes everything. Your hand moves, a button clicks, and light fills a room. The chain of cause and effect is effortless for you, but beneath it is a cascade of motion. Wires hidden in walls carry electrons that surge forward. Generators far away spin turbines that push charges down long highways of copper. Power plants burn fuel, split atoms, or catch wind to feed this current. What feels like magic is simply motion, countless charges moving together, pulled forward by fields as invisible as air. It is silent, quick, and utterly dependable. In that silence lies its beauty. The spark itself is small, carried by a particle so light it nearly vanishes. An electron is the traveler of these currents, the messenger that never rests. It flows through metal, leaps across circuits, and flickers through filaments. It has no color, no sound, no scent. Yet when gathered in number, electrons light entire continents. Their strength comes not from volume, but from harmony, billions moving in step, guided by fields we cannot see. The dance is simple, yet it sustains everything. A city is not brick and stone alone, but also current, flowing silently through its veins. Think of a train gliding along its tracks, smooth and powerful. It owes its grace to silent sparks. Motors turn because charges spin coils, creating magnetic fields that push against steel. Wheels roll, cars follow, and people move. The same principle hums inside a car engine, a fan, a laptop. Tiny bursts of electricity open and close circuits, directing energy like a conductor leads music. The hum you hear in machines is only the echo of sparks too small for you to feel. They speak in silence, yet their work resounds everywhere. Even the air is alive with sparks. Above the clouds, storms charge the sky. Raindrops collide, ice particles strike, and charges separate until the imbalance grows unbearable. Then in an instant, lightning arcs across the heavens. For a moment, silence breaks into thunder. Yet even then, the spark began quietly, invisibly, as charges moved unseen until they could no longer hide. The drama of lightning is only the loud face of what electricity usually does in silence. Most of the time, it flows without spectacle, steady and unseen, keeping the world alive. In the deep sea, creatures have learned to use these silent sparks as language. Some fish generate tiny pulses, flickering in the dark like lanterns. Others sense the faint currents given off by beating hearts or swimming fins. In a world without light, electricity becomes sight, navigation, and survival. Even in the darkest corners of Earth, where sunlight has never touched, sparks guide life. They whisper through salt water, as silent there as they are in the walls of your home. The principle does not change. The current always finds a way. Our bodies, too, depend on these sparks. Neurons fire silently, carrying thought across the brain. Muscles contract because tiny charges shift within their fibers. The heart beats because a ripple of current passes through its cells. It is easy to imagine life as flesh and bone, but beneath the surface it is also wire and circuit, spark and flow. You do not hear the electricity in your body, but it is always there. The silence of the spark is not absence, but presence, a constant hum beneath awareness. When humans first discovered electricity, they marveled at its strength. They saw sparks leap, felt shocks travel, watched metals glow with heat. But as the science grew, the wonder shifted to its silence. Telegraphs carried messages across continents not with noise, but with quiet pulses along a wire. Light bulbs filled streets with glow not by flame, but by invisible current. Today, satellites orbit Earth, carrying signals across oceans, powered by the same silent flow. Entire worlds of information, images, and voices move because electrons whisper along circuits, too small to hear, too fast to see. This silence is also safety. Electricity works best when unnoticed, when it flows without sparks or fire. Circuits are designed to carry it gently to keep it steady. A steady current is life-giving. A sudden surge can be dangerous. And so much of engineering is the art of balance, keeping the spark silent, letting it do its work quietly. The hum of a transformer, the faint buzz of a line, these are reminders of how much motion is contained within stillness. It is energy restrained, guided, and made useful. Think of the night sky filled with satellites, each circling Earth in silence. They send signals to your phone, your computer, your world. You never hear them. You never see the sparks racing through their circuits, yet they connect continents, guide airplanes, predict weather, and map oceans. The silence of their electricity is what makes them trustworthy. They do not need to announce their power. They simply flow, and the world flows with them. And as you sit in a quiet room, perhaps with a lamp glowing or a device charging, know that all of it depends on these silent sparks. They travel from distant sources through hidden wires into your home, into your life. They ask for no attention, no gratitude. But without them, the silence would be deeper, darker, and still. The silent sparks that move the world are everywhere, flowing unseen, reminding you that not all power needs to be loud to be profound. Electricity moves the world not only in wires and storms, but also in the invisible web that connects people, places, and time. Consider how a single spark, too faint for the eye to notice, can carry a voice across an ocean. A transmitter releases a wave, a receiver catches it, and in an instant, words whispered in one place arrive in another. The silent sparks carry stories, news, comfort, and memory. They travel without rest, carrying not only energy but connection. This quiet motion binds the world together, reminding us that silence often holds the greatest strength. Think of a city at night. From above, its streets glow like veins of light, each lamp and sign fed by silent sparks. Millions of homes are warmed, millions of devices charged, all without noise. You may hear the hum of traffic, the sound of footsteps, but beneath it all is an inaudible flow. The spark never sleeps. It moves through the darkest hours, keeping hospitals alive, trains on schedule, hearts safe in their beds. Civilization is not only stone and steel, but also this hidden current, wrapping every structure, weaving through every life. Inside each machine, sparks perform a choreography too complex for us to see. In a computer, billions of switches open and close in unison, their rhythm measured in nanoseconds. Each change is a tiny spark, a whisper of charge moving through silicon. Alone, one switch is nothing. Together, they create images, sounds, worlds. They write music, guide rockets, decode genomes. The silence of these sparks is not emptiness, but harmony, countless voices blending into one. The quiet movement of electrons gives rise to the loud chorus of human progress. Even time itself is measured by sparks. Atomic clocks, the most precise instruments ever built, rely on the rhythm of electrons shifting between energy states. Their vibration is steady, exact, and silent. From these shifts, seconds are defined and the world keeps time. Satellites rely on these clocks to guide navigation, ensuring that journeys across land, sea, and sky are safe. Every step you take with a device in your pocket is guided by electrons counting time in silence. The rhythm of the universe is kept by sparks too small for us to feel, but too important for us to ignore. The silence of electricity is also found in the smallest spaces of nature. In every leaf, charges shift as light strikes green pigments. Photosynthesis is a quiet miracle. Photons touch chlorophyll, electrons rise and fall, and energy becomes life. This happens with no sound, no drama, only the soft hum of chemistry guided by electricity. From this silent process, forests grow, oceans bloom, air fills with oxygen. The breath you take is given by sparks that flicker in the green world, too small for you to notice, yet vast in consequence. Water itself carries sparks. Deep in the ocean, vents release minerals that interact with seawater, generating electrical gradients. Around them, life thrives in darkness, feeding on chemical energy that depends on the movement of charges. Entire ecosystems bloom where sparks whisper through minerals and heat. In these places, silence is not emptiness, it is abundance. Electricity provides the foundation, even where sunlight never reaches. Life listens, responds, and grows in the company of these quiet flows. If you follow electricity outward, beyond Earth, you find silence on an even greater scale. In space, charged particles race from the sun, creating invisible storms that ripple across the solar system. Planets shield themselves with magnetic fields, catching these sparks and guiding them away. Sometimes they collide with air, painting the skies with auroras. To watch this light is to witness silence transformed into color. The sparks make no sound, yet they fill the heavens with beauty. Even in the vastness of the cosmos, electricity remains both silent and essential. Humans have learned to mimic these silent flows, but always with humility. Solar panels catch light and turn it into current. Wind turbines spin blades, feeding electrons into wires. Hydroelectric dams guide rivers, turning water's motion into sparks. In each case, nature provides and humans channel. What matters most is not the noise of machines, but the silence of the current itself, always moving, always ready to be shaped. We are not creators of electricity. We are stewards of its flow, learners of its ways. In silence, it offers its gift. The lesson of these sparks is that strength does not need volume. The greatest movements are often the quietest. A seed germinates in soil, guided by electrical gradients in its cells. A bird navigates across oceans, sensing the faint magnetic whispers of Earth. A child learns, neurons forming new paths in silence. Each is powered by sparks too small for the senses, but powerful enough to shape futures. The world's loudest moments, storms, eruptions, discoveries, are born from the silent labor of electricity. In this, we find reverence. And so, as you reflect on the sparks that move the world, you may feel a new awareness. Every device you use, every lamp you light, every thought you think depends on this quiet current. It asks nothing in return, carries no voice, makes no demand. It is power without boast, connection without noise. The silent sparks do not shout, but they change everything. They are the hidden threads that bind earth to sky, body to world, past to future. They are the quiet companions of life, moving through you, around you, and beyond you, always flowing, always present, always silent. The story of electricity is also the story of humanity's unfolding. Long before towers carried wires across continents, sparks flickered in the hands of curious minds. A balloon rubbed on cloth revealed static that lifted hair. Amber, when struck, seemed to hold sunlight and whisper with attraction. Slowly, people began to sense that invisible currents moved through the world, though they had no name for it yet. They felt its touch in shocks, saw its flash in lightning, wondered at its force in storms. It was silent, but it could not be ignored. Its presence was a mystery waiting to be read. When the first batteries were built, the silence of the spark became a tool. For the first time, humans could summon electricity at will, not only by waiting for storms. Messages soon followed. Telegraph wires stretched like roots across nations, carrying dots and dashes in silence. Those sparks carried love letters, news of war, whispers of hope. Later, telephones transformed sparks into voices, letting words travel faster than footsteps or ships. The silent sparks made distance smaller, binding lives together. Civilization began to hum with their quiet presence. With the arrival of light bulbs, nights changed forever. Streets glowed where once only stars and fire had reigned. The silent spark, captured in glass, gave safety, industry, and wonder. Entire cities became constellations on Earth. The rhythm of life shifted. Factories worked after sunset, people gathered under lamps, art and music stretched into the hours once reserved for dreams. All of it owed itself to currents moving invisibly, inaudibly through wires. The silent sparks reshaped not only how we lived, but how we thought about possibility itself. In our age, the sparks have grown smaller and more numerous. Inside every device you hold are millions of silent switches, opening and closing at astonishing speed. Each motion is a spark, yet you never hear it. Together, they create worlds, screens filled with images, networks filled with voices, pathways filled with knowledge. The silence of the spark has become the stage for human imagination. From science to art, medicine to exploration, the quiet flow of electrons supports it all. Without their unseen labor, the modern world would dissolve into stillness. But these sparks also remind us of fragility. When the power fades, silence deepens. Darkness falls, machines pause, connections vanish. In those moments, you are reminded how much you depend on the current. Yet even in outage, the truth remains. The spark has not disappeared. It still flickers in your neurons, still pulses in your heart, still shapes the world outside. Civilization may falter without wires, but life itself continues because the deepest sparks are within you. Electricity does not abandon life, it defines it. This duality, silence and necessity, makes electricity a profound teacher. It tells us that the most important forces need not be loud. They do not demand attention, but they shape every moment. Breath is silent, yet essential. Time is silent, yet relentless. Electricity belongs to this family of quiet powers. It surrounds you, moves through you, defines your world. And though you cannot hear it, you live in its song. The silent sparks are both background and foundation, hidden and irreplaceable. As you imagine the world from above, you might see it as a great network of light, threads glowing across oceans and continents. Each thread is alive with silent sparks, moving faster than thought, carrying energy, carrying meaning. This is not only technology, it is poetry, a reminder that we are connected by flows we cannot sense but cannot live without. Every home, every person, every dream is tied into this silent web, pulsing with charge. Humanity itself is a constellation, glowing in the dark, because silent sparks move within and between us. Even beyond Earth, the story continues. Probes cross space, their instruments alive with quiet electricity. Rovers crawl across Mars, powered by silent currents. Spacecraft drift in the void, guided by charges steady as stars. These sparks, born on Earth, now move among the planets. Their silence reaches farther than our voices, carrying our presence into the cosmos. The silent sparks that move the world also move beyond it, reminding us that we are part of a current greater than ourselves. And so, as this story closes, let the silence itself be a comfort. The sparks that move the world do not need to be seen or heard to be real. They are patient, steady, constant. They light the night, connect the distant, guide the lost, and sustain the living. You are surrounded by them, filled with them, dependent upon them. They do not boast, but they are always there. The silent sparks that move the world are the gentle pulse of existence, flowing endlessly, quietly, faithfully, carrying life forward into every tomorrow. Every piece of matter you see, touch, or carry within you is built from atoms, and within those atoms dance electrons. They are the smallest of companions, circling invisible paths, whispering energy into the structure of the universe. Though tiny, their patterns hold memory. In the gentle motion of electrons, atoms remember how to bond, how to share, how to build. The world you know, stone, water, air, flesh, exists because electrons weave it together. Their dance is silent, continuous, eternal. To look at the world is to see the choreography of charges performed without pause. Picture a single atom, small beyond sight, yet alive with structure. At its heart lies the nucleus, a dense core of protons and neutrons. Around it drift electrons, held in place by invisible attraction. They are not locked but free to move, forming clouds of probability, patterns of presence. In these patterns lies the memory of chemistry. An electron knows where it may be, knows how to leap to a new orbit when touched by light, knows how to return and release that light again. The behavior of matter is not random. It is guided by the memory written in the quantum fields of electrons. This memory becomes clear when atoms bond. Hydrogen and oxygen, meeting in space, join through the sharing of electrons. Out of this union, water forms clear, flowing, essential. Each molecule remembers the angle at which it binds, remembers the strength of its bond, remembers the dance that keeps it liquid across so much of Earth. These patterns are not conscious, but they are reliable. They are memory without awareness, rules etched into the smallest particles. In their quiet obedience to these patterns, electrons give rise to rivers, oceans, clouds, rain. They hold the memory of water's shape in every drop. The dance of electrons is also light itself. When an electron absorbs energy, it leaps upward, leaving its place behind. But it cannot remain. It falls back, releasing its gift as a photon. That photon may travel across a room, across a planet, across the universe. When it strikes another atom, another electron rises and falls, carrying the message forward. This is how light shines, how stars burn, how vision exists. Your eyes receive photons that began as leaps of electrons in distant atoms. In their motions, electrons ray. Remember how to give light, how to make the universe visible. Even your body is an orchestra of electron dances. In every cell, molecules fold and unfold, guided by electrons that know where to hold and where to release. Enzymes find their shapes because electrons cling in specific bonds. DNA twists into a spiral because electrons arrange its ladder. Proteins take form because electrons guide the attraction of atom to atom, folding the chain into intricate knots of life. Without electrons remembering where they belong, the body would collapse into chaos. Their dance is silent, but it keeps life steady, every moment, every breath. Consider also the metals that hum in machines. Copper carries electrons easily, letting them flow as current. Iron remembers how to align its electrons into magnetism, giving strength to compasses and motors. Silicon arranges electrons into patterns that allow switches and circuits to function. In each case, atoms do not forget their rules. They carry memory in the arrangement of electrons, repeating the same patterns again and again. Technology is nothing more than humans learning to listen to this memory, to guide it, to shape it into light, motion, and sound. Even the colors of the world are written by electrons. A leaf appears green because its electrons absorb red and blue light but reflect the middle frequencies. A ruby glows red because of the arrangement of chromium atoms within, directing electrons to hold and release certain photons. The sky is blue because air molecules scatter electrons, light, in specific ways. Every shade you see, every glow you admire, is the memory of electrons made visible. Without their patterns, the world would be colorless, shapeless, dark. The most mysterious part of this dance is that electrons do not move like planets around a star. They exist in waves of probability, both particle and wave, here and not here. Their presence is described not by certainty but by chance, yet their collective behavior is reliable, steady, predictable. The universe remembers itself through uncertainty. In this paradox lies beauty. Even the most reliable patterns are made from motion that is never still, never fixed, always in flux. Electrons are dancers that never stop, whose steps are both unpredictable and inevitable. If you listen closely in thought, you might imagine the universe humming with these dances. Every atom, every molecule, every star, every breath is shaped by the rhythm of electrons. They move quietly, invisibly, but with perfect persistence. The chair you sit on, the air you breathe, the words you speak, all held together by their memory. You are made of these dances, carried by them, sustained by them. You are a constellation of atoms, each one alive with the motion of electrons. The dance is not outside you, it is you. And so in the silence of matter there is music. In the stillness of form there is motion. The memory of atoms and the dance of electrons weave the fabric of existence, unseen yet undeniable. You live surrounded by it, filled with it, created from it. Every flicker of light, every touch of warmth, every whisper of thought is their gift. The smallest of particles, carrying no voice, no color, no shape, have built the universe and hold it still. Their memory is the world itself, their dance the heartbeat of reality. The dance of electrons is not limited to the quiet interior of atoms. It extends outward, shaping the grand design of the universe. In stars, electrons whirl in seas of plasma, colliding with protons, releasing light and heat that travel across space. Every sunrise is the memory of atomic dance in the sun, a chorus of electrons leaping, falling, glowing. The warmth you feel on your skin, the light that fills your eyes, all begin with this ceaseless movement inside stars. The sun remembers its fire because electrons know their rhythm, repeating it billions of times each second, without pause, without fatigue. Here on Earth, this dance is written into every material around you. Wood burns because electrons leap eagerly into new bonds, releasing heat and flame. Metal bends because electrons glide easily between atoms, carrying stress across the lattice. Glass shines because electrons are locked in patterns that let light pass through without scattering. In each case, matter holds the memory of how its electrons behave, and that memory becomes property, function, character. The difference between stone and water, between air and steel, lies in the arrangements of electrons and the rules they follow. Your body itself is a living archive of these electron memories. Every heartbeat, every breath depends on molecules shaped by electronic bonds. Hemoglobin carries oxygen in blood because iron atoms hold electrons in a way that lets them grasp and release gas. Muscles move because proteins coil, pulled into shape by charged attractions between electrons. Neurons fire because ions, atoms with electrons gained or lost rift across membranes, creating waves of charge. Life is the interplay of electrons, the weaving of their steps into form and action. In each beat and thought, the dance continues, unnoticed but essential. One of the most delicate forms of this memory is found in photosynthesis. In the green cells of leaves, light strikes chlorophyll, and electrons rise to new energy levels. Their leap drives a chain of reactions, splitting water, building sugar, releasing oxygen. The air you breathe comes from this leap, this memory of how electrons carry energy forward. It happens quietly, without sound, but it is the basis of life on Earth. Entire forests stand because of it, oceans teem because of it, animals breathe because of it. All of it flows from electrons remembering how to move when touched by light. The memory of atoms is also time itself. Radioactive decay happens when unstable nuclei release particles and electrons, changing one element into another. These changes occur with astonishing regularity, so steady that scientists measure the age of rocks, fossils, and even the Earth by them. The world's history is written in the timing of electron motion, the rate at which atoms transform. Every cliff, every mountain, every ancient fossil carries within it the record of electrons moving, step by step, through the ages. The Earth remembers its own story through the dance of atoms. Technology has found ways to borrow this memory. In computers, data is stored by guiding electrons into states that represent zeros and ones. Hard drives remember because electrons are nudged into magnetic alignments. Flash drives remember because electrons are trapped in thin layers of silicon. Each word typed, each picture saved, is the quiet arrangement of charges, held in place until called again. When you look at an old photograph on a screen, you are watching the memory of electrons, stored patiently, waiting silently until they are asked to return what they know. But the dance is not only practical, it is beautiful. Crystals sparkle because electrons arrange themselves into repeating lattices that bend light into rainbows. Gems glow because electrons inside them shift energy levels, releasing light in vivid colors. Even snowflakes form their intricate shapes because electrons dictate how water molecules connect. The elegance of the world, its patterns, its hues, its endless variety, is born from the memory of atoms. The electrons know their steps, and their dance becomes beauty. At the smallest scale, the dance becomes strange. Quantum mechanics shows that electrons do not follow simple paths but exist in overlapping possibilities. They are waves that interfere, collapse, reappear. They tunnel through barriers, entangle with partners across distance, vanish into uncertainty. And yet, out of this mystery comes reliability. Matter forms, life continues, stars burn. The universe holds together because electrons follow their strange rules perfectly. Their uncertainty is not weakness but design, a deeper rhythm that allows both stability and change. The memory of atoms is not rigid, it is flexible, allowing the universe to evolve. Imagine then that every atom in your body carries this memory. Each electron is part of a dance that began long before you and will continue long after. The iron in your blood was forged in ancient stars, where electrons first leapt in fiery fusion. The calcium in your bones holds electrons arranged in patterns older than Earth itself. The carbon in your cells carries electrons that have moved through countless forms: plants, animals, oceans, skies. You are built from atoms that remember the history of the cosmos, each electron carrying a fragment of the universe's dance. To reflect on this is to find humility. You are not only yourself, but also the memory of stars, the dance of ancient atoms, the echo of electrons moving across time. Every breath, every thought, every step is a continuation of patterns billions of years old. You are the living expression of a cosmic memory, the gentle unfolding of a dance that never ends. In your silence, in your stillness, the electrons continue, reminding you that you are not separate from the universe, but one with its rhythm, one with its dance. The memory of atoms and the dance of electrons is not only a scientific truth, but also a gentle reminder of connection. Every gesture of your life, from lifting a hand to whispering a word, depends on electrons moving in patterns that have not changed for billions of years. The same motions that allow you to think once guided the formation of galaxies, once shaped the chemistry of oceans, once lit the sky with the fire of stars. The smallest steps of electrons echo on the largest scales of existence, a harmony so vast it slips beyond comprehension. Think of your own breath. Oxygen enters your lungs, slips into your blood, binds with iron, and travels to your cells. There, electrons shift, bonds break and form energy. Is released, muscles contract, thoughts arise. Each breath is a continuation of an ancient rhythm, electrons dancing as they always have, remembering their roles with perfect fidelity. You do not command them, you do not even notice them, yet they never fail. The very act of being alive is trust in this unseen memory, trust in the constancy of electrons. The world around you is also written in this script. Rocks form their hardness because electrons lock atoms into lattices. Rivers carve valleys because water molecules hold their bonds at angles that make them flow. Mountains rise because the Earth's atoms remember the strength of their bonds. Lightning flashes because electrons separate in storms, leaping across the sky. Every detail of nature, from the curve of a leaf to the shimmer of ice, is etched by electrons, each step of their dance repeating truths that have guided matter since the beginning. Even sound is born of them. When you speak, vibrations travel through air, molecules collide, electrons shift slightly in their bonds, carrying energy forward. When you listen to music, your ears receive waves of air that move tiny hairs which release electrical signals to the brain. At every stage, electrons are the carriers, the interpreters, the messengers. Without their faithful dance, silence would rule. With it, the world is filled with voices, songs, laughter, and memory. The electron's silence gives rise to the human chorus. In moments of stillness, imagine seeing this dance. Imagine looking not at surfaces, but at the spaces beneath, where electrons move endlessly, unseen yet present. You would see the air alive with probability, the ground humming with bonds, your body glowing with activity. The world would appear not solid, but shimmering, woven of motion and light. What seems quiet would be alive with energy. What seems still would be flowing with rhythm. The atoms remember, and their memory never ceases. This memory also gives you continuity with the cosmos. The atoms in your body have lived many lives before. The hydrogen in your cells was born in the first seconds after the Big Bang. The carbon and oxygen were forged in ancient stars, released into space when those stars died. The iron in your blood was created in a supernova, scattered across galaxies, gathered into Earth, woven into you. The electrons you carry today once danced in other forms, other worlds, other times. They are ancient travelers, carrying the memory of the universe into the present moment. Science shows this truth, but poetry gives it weight. To say you are stardust is to say you are memory itself. You are the continuation of a story that began before time was measured, a story written in the steps of electrons. You inherit this memory not by choice but by existence. You are its current expression, its living echo. And when your body returns to the earth, the atoms will remain, their electrons still dancing, still remembering, still carrying forward the rhythm of creation. Technology reflects this same continuity. Every device you hold is built from the memory of atoms, silicon and copper shaped by the arrangement of electrons. Circuits function because electrons remember where they may flow and where they may not. Screens glow because electrons leap and release photons. Information is carried because electrons shift between states, holding and releasing data. In each case, human invention is simply the guidance of ancient patterns, the listening and shaping of a dance that already exists. We build not from nothing, but from memory older than ourselves. And so the dance of electrons is both intimate and infinite. It exists within your smallest cell and across the furthest star. It remembers how to bind water into rivers, how to hold bones in place, how to light the sky. It remembers how to build life, how to sustain it, how to let it change. This memory is not fragile but enduring, not loud but silent, not simple but profound. It is the memory of matter, the rhythm of the universe, the heartbeat of reality. As this story closes, let yourself rest in that rhythm. The atoms within you are alive with motion. Their electrons are dancing, remembering, sustaining you even as you sit still. You are carried by their memory, connected by their dance, joined to a universe that never forgets. In your silence, in your sleep, in your dreams, the electrons continue. The memory of atoms holds you, the dance of electrons sustains you, and through them you are one with all that has ever been and all that will ever be. In their endless motion, you find both origin and eternity. The light that warms your skin, the glow that fills your room, the current that hums in your walls, all of it begins in the breath of stars. Every lamp, every spark, every flicker of electricity is a gift carried from the heart of suns across time and space. The story of energy in your home is not only a story of wires and machines, but of stars inhaling and exhaling across the universe. Their breath, released as light, travels silently for millions of years before it touches Earth. What powers your world is nothing less than the life of stars, given freely, endlessly, patiently. Deep within the sun, at its fiery core, atoms fuse. Hydrogen becomes helium, releasing bursts of light and energy in the process. This fusion is steady, constant, balanced. The star breathes by burning itself, each inhalation a pull of atoms closer together, each exhalation a flood of photons sent outward. Those photons begin a long journey, bouncing, scattering, drifting through the dense layers of plasma. It takes thousands of years for some to escape the sun's heart, wandering endlessly inside, until finally they rise to the surface and spill into space. From there, they travel at the speed of light, racing across the void, carrying warmth and brilliance to Earth. When you stand in sunlight, you are touched by this ancient journey. The warmth on your face was born in a star's breath long before humans walked the Earth. The light in your eyes was forged in nuclear fire, carried patiently across 93 million miles to meet you. Every sunrise is proof of this gift, a reminder that your life is bound to the rhythm of a star. Without this breath, the Earth would be cold, dark, lifeless. With it, oceans shimmer, forests grow, and your own body finds the energy it needs to live. But the story does not stop at sunlight. Humans have learned to capture the breath of stars in many forms. Solar panels drink in photons, releasing electrons that flow as current. Crops absorb light through photosynthesis, transforming the sun's breath into food. Fossil fuels, too, are stored sunlight, ancient plants and creatures that once captured energy from the sky, now releasing it when burned. Even wind and water currents are guided by sunlight, heated air and oceans moving in response to its warmth. Every spark in your home is a reflection of starlight, caught and transformed, carried and stored, released again when you need it most. The electricity that lights your room tonight may have begun as sunlight on a leaf centuries ago. The coal burned in a distant plant is the memory of forests that lived under ancient skies. The oil that fuels engines was once drifting plankton, fed by photons in oceans long vanished. The natural gas that warms homes is the residue of creatures that carried sunlight in their bodies. You live in a world powered by the breath of stars stored in time, energy captured, hidden, and returned. Every flicker of flame, every glowing filament, every humming motor is a memory of starlight. Even nuclear power is a continuation of this truth. When atoms split in reactors, they release energy stored in their very structure, energy born in stars. Heavy elements like uranium and plutonium were forged in stellar explosions, seeded into space when ancient suns died. The reactors that hum on Earth today are powered by the remnants of those cosmic deaths. When their atoms split, they exhale the energy of stars, a gift carried across eons, waiting in silence until called upon. In this way, even the most modern forms of power are ancient breaths, echoes of stellar fire. And above all, the stars themselves continue to shine. Each one breathes its own rhythm, some softly, some fiercely. Red giants swell and fade, white dwarfs flicker quietly, blue stars burn hot and fast. Galaxies are vast fields of breath, each star contributing to the great chorus of light that fills the universe. On clear nights, when you lift your eyes and see the Milky Way spread across the sky, you are looking at the very source of life's energy. Each point of light is a living furnace, exhaling warmth and brilliance into the dark. Your home glows tonight because of this cosmic generosity. The lamp beside you, the device in your hand, the warmth in the air, all trace back to stellar breath. The current may travel through turbines and wires, but its origin is ancient, its source unchanging. Stars are the lungs of the universe, breathing life into emptiness, filling the void with light and power. You live surrounded by their breath, dependent on it, sustained by it. Without stars, there is no fire, no current, no glow. With them, the universe is alive, radiant, abundant. So the next time you touch a switch and light floods a room, remember the journey of that energy. It began in the silence of a star, traveled across time, became part of Earth's story, was captured and transformed, and now rests in your hands. The breath of stars lights your home. It warms your heart, it guides your life. In their exhalation, you find your own existence, carried by photons, sustained by fire, bound forever to the luminous rhythm of the cosmos. The breath of stars does not stop at light. It shapes the winds, the rains, the seasons, and the cycles of life. Every gust of air, every rolling cloud, every wave that crashes upon a shore begins with sunlight warming the earth unevenly. The star exhales and the atmosphere stirs. Warm air rises, cool air sinks, currents form, and weather is born. The very rhythm of the climate is tied to the pulse of the sun. Without its breath, skies would be empty, oceans still, land barren. With it, the world is restless and alive, constantly shifting beneath the flow of stellar energy. This energy nourishes life in ways both direct and hidden. In leaves, sunlight sparks photosynthesis, the great alchemy that transforms light into food. Electrons leap when photons touch them, carrying energy through chains of molecules until sugars form. This quiet miracle powers every forest, every field, every meal. The breath of stars enters roots and branches, fruits and grains, and from them into you. Every bite you take is the sun's gift, captured and transformed, stored and shared. You eat starlight, you live on starlight. It flows in your veins as surely as blood, a cosmic inheritance hidden in daily bread. Even the rhythms of your body are guided by this stellar breath. Light enters your eyes each morning, resetting the clock within your brain. Your cells listen, adjusting hormones and cycles, telling you when to wake, when to rest. The rising and setting of the sun orchestrates your days and nights, weaving its breath into your biology. Without it, time itself would unravel. The breath of stars is not only energy, it is order, harmony, rhythm. It keeps life in tune with the universe, balancing the inner with the outer, the body with the cosmos. Stars also breathe in greater cycles, shaping ages and eras. The earth tilts, turns, and drifts, guided by the sun's pull and breath. Ice ages come and go, forests spread and retreat, deserts shift and seas rise. The long story of life is written in sunlight, in the changing warmth of the star that feeds the earth. Entire civilizations have risen and fallen in response to its moods, harvests swelling in times of plenty, faltering in years of drought. The breath of stars is patient, vast, and unyielding, a reminder that life bends always to the rhythm of the cosmos. And yet humans have learned to catch this breath more directly. Solar panels unfold on rooftops and fields, drinking photons, setting electrons free, guiding them into wires. In deserts, great arrays gleam, catching the sun's endless exhalation, feeding entire cities. This is not invention but listening, not creation but acceptance. We do not make the energy, we borrow it, channel it, use it as it flows past us. The star breathes and we take what it offers. The more carefully we listen, the more gently we borrow, the more sustainable our lives become, aligned with the rhythm that has always sustained us. Even the winds and rivers that turn turbines owe their power to starlight. Warmth drives the atmosphere into motion, winds turning blades. Sunlight draws water into clouds, sends it falling as rain, filling rivers that spin wheels and dams. The breath of stars does not fade after one moment, it cycles, transforms, repeats. In every form of renewable power, we are tapping the same endless source, the exhalation of a star that has burned for billions of years and will burn for billions more. It is abundance without end, if only we learn to flow with it. In the night sky, the lesson is clearer still. The stars you see are each breathing their own light, their own energy, their own story. Some are young, newly alight with fusion. Others are old, breathing heavily, expanding into giants or collapsing into dwarfs. Their breaths fill the galaxy, overlapping, weaving into a tapestry of light. You stand on Earth, looking upward, and receive their exhalation across the distance. Some of that light began its journey before humans existed, before mountains rose, before oceans formed as they are today. When it reaches you, it carries not only energy but history, a memory of the universe's breath. The breath of dying stars gives even more. When massive suns collapse and explode, they scatter elements across space: carbon, oxygen, iron, gold. These become the building blocks of planets, of oceans, of life. Your bones, your blood, your thoughts are built from the breath of ancient stars, long gone, their last exhalations lingering in you. To realize this is to understand that you are not merely powered by stars, you are made of them. Their breath does not only light your home, it shapes your very being. You are the continuation of their exhalation, the embodiment of their gift. And so the breath of stars is not distant or abstract. It is immediate, intimate, constant. It is in the warmth of the day, the food you eat, the rhythm of your body, the power in your walls. It is in the mountains, the rivers, the storms, the forests. It is in your bones, your blood, your thoughts, your dreams. You live surrounded by it, filled with it, sustained by it. The stars breathe and you live. Their light flows outward and you are P. Art of its journey. The cosmos exhales and you are the inhale, the living response to the endless rhythm of stellar fire. The breath of stars is not only the gift that sustains life, but also the quiet reminder of impermanence. Stars are not eternal. They too live and change, inhaling and exhaling through cosmic ages until their fuel is gone. The sun that warms you now has burned for billions of years, yet even it will one day exhaust its fire, swelling into a red giant before fading into silence. The light you live by is both abundant and finite, a reminder that all things, no matter how great, move in cycles of birth and rest. The breath that powers your home is also a whisper of time, telling you that nothing lasts forever, not even stars. And yet in their endings, stars give more than they take. When a massive star collapses, its final breath explodes outward, scattering elements into the void. Gold, silver, carbon, oxygen, all released in one brilliant exhalation. Planets form from this dust, oceans rise, life begins. The atoms of your body, the structures of your world, are remnants of such final breaths. You are, in the deepest sense, made from the size of dying stars. To know this is to carry humility, that your existence is borrowed from the cosmos, that every heartbeat is part of a cycle much older than Earth itself. The electricity that lights your home is a continuation of this cycle. Whether drawn from sunlight, wind, water, or even the decay of ancient fuels, it all traces back to stellar fire. Each spark in a wire, each flicker in a bulb is part of a chain that began in the hearts of stars. The grid that powers cities is not only an engineering achievement, it is an extension of cosmic breath. We are not separate from the universe's rhythm, but woven into it, channeling its flow into our lives. To see your lamp glow is to see the stars breathing through your walls. This perspective transforms the ordinary into the sacred. A switch is no longer just a convenience, but a bridge to the cosmos. A flame is no longer only heat, but a memory of starlight trapped in matter. A meal is no longer simply nourishment, but sunlight captured by leaves, stored and passed on to you. The mundane becomes luminous when traced back to its source. The breath of stars fills every detail of existence, and to notice it is to awaken to the wonder hidden in the ordinary. The breath of stars also teaches unity. Every person, every tree, every grain of sand shares the same origin. We are all sustained by the same light, fed by the same energy, built from the same dust. The divisions that humans draw of place, of name, of time dissolve when compared to the vast sameness of starlight. The photon that warms one hand could just as easily warm another across the world. The energy that grows one tree also grows another far away. The breath of stars does not discriminate. It moves through all equally, a gift without borders or conditions. And in this unity lies comfort. The stars you see tonight shine upon countless others, living and remembering beneath the same glow. The breath of stars binds you to them across distance and difference, across silence and time. You are not alone in its light. You are part of a vast family of beings sustained by the same cosmic rhythm. In this way, the breath of stars is also connection, a reminder that life is shared, not isolated, that existence itself is a web woven by stellar fire. Even when clouds obscure the night sky, even when cities drown out the stars with their own glow, the truth remains. Above, they breathe still. Beyond the noise, beyond the shadow, the stars continue steady and unyielding. Their breath flows into you whether you see them or not, whether you remember or forget. The constancy of their gift is a form of love, patient and unconditional. You are free to live without noticing, yet the stars give regardless. Their silence is generosity, their light devotion. And so, when you rest in your room, surrounded by light, warmth, and the hum of hidden currents, pause to remember their source. You are living within a cycle that began long before you and will continue long after. You are breathing with stars, sharing in their exhalation, carrying their fire in your body, your home, your dreams. The breath of stars lights not only your dwelling, but your being. It is the pulse of your days, the glow of your nights, the essence of your life. To live is to receive their breath, and to notice it is to awaken to the profound truth that you are, and have always been, made of starlight. Within the stillness of your mind, gentle currents are always flowing. They move silently, invisibly, like rivers beneath the surface of thought. These are the electrical patterns of your brain, the delicate sparks that carry your memories, your feelings, your dreams. Every idea, every word, every flicker of imagination is the result of charges drifting across tiny spaces between cells. T. Brain is not only flesh but also current, not only matter but also motion. Its essence is not solid but fluid, a continuous stream of electricity weaving the tapestry of your inner world. Picture a single neuron, one of billions within your mind. It waits quietly, resting in balance, holding an electrical potential across its membrane. Ions rest on either side of this boundary like a tide held in check. When the signal comes, gates open and charges rush across. In an instant, the neuron fires, sending a wave of current racing along its length. At its end, chemicals are released, crossing to another neuron, beginning the process again. In this way, the brain speaks in rivers of electricity, countless signals flowing at once, each one a piece of thought. The gentle currents are so small, yet together they create the vast ocean of mind. These currents form rhythms that shift with your state of being. When you are awake and alert, fast waves ripple across your brain, sharp and quick. When you relax, the rhythm slows like waves on a calm shore. In sleep, the patterns deepen further, broad tides of electricity rolling through your mind, carrying you into dreams. Scientists call these rhythms alpha, beta, theta, delta, but you know them as focus, relaxation, rest, renewal. They are the music of your brain, played in silence, felt in experience. You do not hear them, yet you live by them. They are the background hum of existence. Dreams arise from these same currents. At night, as your body lies still, your brain flickers with activity, weaving images, stories, sensations. Neurons fire in new patterns, connecting memories, emotions, and imagination. The result is a landscape as vivid as waking life, though built entirely of sparks. Dreams are the poetry of electricity, the mind painting pictures with its own current. They can be wild, fragmented, beautiful, strange, yet they are born from the same gentle flows that carry your waking thoughts. Even in rest, your brain is alive with rivers, flowing without pause. These electrical currents are also the foundation of memory. When you learn something new, neurons strengthen their connections, making it easier for signals to pass in the future. Sparks carve paths, and with repetition, those paths become well-worn, easy to follow. To remember is to let electrons flow down old channels, lighting up constellations of neurons once more. A childhood face, a beloved song, a familiar place, all are stored as patterns of current waiting to be released. Your past is written in sparks, your memories alive in the flow of gentle electricity. What makes these currents remarkable is their harmony. Billions of neurons fire at once, yet the result is not chaos but coherence. They move in patterns, forming networks that represent language, vision, movement, emotion. A thought is not in one place but across many, a constellation of activity that exists only in motion. Your mind is not a library of fixed things but a river of shifting currents, always flowing, always changing. To be alive is to be this river, to let it carry you from moment to moment, thought to thought, dream to dream. And beneath all the complexity, the current itself is simple. Charges moving, ions crossing, electrons drifting. The same principle that lights a bulb or drives a motor also creates your imagination. The electricity of thought is not separate from the electricity of the world. It is the same force, shaped differently, flowing through a different circuit. The lamp on your desk and the idea in your mind are both born of moving charge. The gentle currents of thought are kin to the currents in wires, the same universal river flowing in different channels. To imagine your brain in this way is to see yourself as a landscape of light. Each neuron flickers like a firefly, sparks leaping between them, patterns glowing in silence. Your thoughts are constellations forming and dissolving, galaxies of current that shift with every moment. In this vision, you are both the observer and the sky, both the spark and the one illuminated by it. Your inner world is not darkness but brightness, not emptiness but abundance, alive with countless gentle currents weaving you into being. And so, as you rest, as you think, as you dream, know that you are carried by these rivers. They are quiet, constant, tender. They do not roar or demand, they flow softly, sustaining the miracle of your mind. The gentle currents of thought and dream are your truest self, your endless spark, your hidden light. They are the silent song of your being, the electricity of consciousness, the breath of the universe made personal, flowing within you, flowing as you. The gentle currents of thought and dream weave themselves into every part of your life, shaping how you move, feel, and remember. From the moment you open your eyes, currents begin their steady work, carrying signals from the light entering your retinas to the back of your brain W. Here vision takes form. A cascade of neurons spark, translating photons into images, edges into shapes, shapes into meaning. In less than a second, a silent current delivers the world to your awareness. You do not command it, you do not hear it, but it happens faithfully, continuously, tirelessly. Each sight you see is painted by sparks flowing invisibly through you. When you reach out to touch something, currents guide the action. Neurons in your motor cortex fire in patterns, signals stream down your spinal cord, nerves branch to muscles, and fibers contract. Electricity pulls at proteins, slides filaments together, and your hand lifts. All of it is choreographed by charges drifting in waves. Even the smallest gestures, the curl of a smile, the blink of an eye, are carried by these currents. You are a symphony of sparks in motion, each note silent but essential, each wave flowing into the next to create the music of living. Emotions, too, are born of electricity. Joy is not only a feeling but a pattern of neurons lighting in unison, reinforced by chemical messengers that shift currents in the brain. Sadness, anger, calm, wonder all appear as constellations of sparks, unique but recognizable, repeating when similar experiences return. Though invisible, these electrical maps shape the texture of your life, guiding how you react, how you connect, how you remember. They are the silent script behind every story you live, written not in words, but in currents flowing softly from one cell to the next. When you listen to music, electricity dances in harmony with the sound. Vibrations move air, stir your eardrum, pass through delicate bones, and ripple into the cochlea. Their tiny hairs bend, releasing signals that become electrical impulses. These currents flow to your brain, where rhythms and melodies form. The song you hear is an arrangement of sparks, waves of charge matching waves of sound. Sometimes the pattern stirs memory, sometimes it brings comfort, sometimes it carries you into dreamlike states. The gentle currents transform sound into meaning, silence into beauty, motion into emotion. Language follows the same rhythm. To speak, signals fire in the brain's speech centers, guiding breath, tongue, and lips. To listen, patterns of currents transform sound into comprehension. To read, sparks leap as eyes scan letters, connecting them to memory and meaning. Every word spoken or understood is the result of billions of neurons flickering at once, working together in silence. Communication is not only human invention, but also electrical collaboration, the brain's way of weaving meaning through currents too small to see. The words you share are shaped by sparks that connect thought to sound, sound to thought, mind to mind. At night, when you drift into sleep, these currents change their flow. They slow, broaden, deepen, forming waves that sweep across the brain like tides. The mind rests, but it is never still. Dreams emerge from this altered rhythm, fragments of memory woven with imagination, carried by sparks that fire in new patterns. Sometimes the dream reflects the day, sometimes it invents, sometimes it comforts, sometimes it disturbs. Yet always it is born of the same electricity that guides waking thought. Sleep is not absence but transformation, the gentle currents flowing differently, shaping an inner world as real as the outer. These currents also carry healing. When you are injured, neurons fire to coordinate recovery, to signal pain, to protect. When you rest, electrical rhythms help restore balance, guiding hormones, regulating systems, preparing you for another day. Even silence in thought is filled with activity, sparks maintaining memory, circuits reinforcing learning, networks strengthening. The gentle currents of the brain are not idle, they are always at work, even when you feel still. Healing, balance, renewal, all are carried by electricity flowing quietly within. What is remarkable is the delicacy of this system. A single disruption can alter everything. A seizure is the storm of too many neurons firing at once, overwhelming the balance. A small break in current can cause forgetfulness, confusion, silence. Yet most of the time, the system is stable, flowing with perfect rhythm. Billions of sparks move in harmony, sustaining thought without pause. To be alive is to rely on this balance, to trust in the constancy of silent rivers within you. Fragile yet resilient, the currents sustain you in every moment. And through it all, there is wonder. The gentle currents of thought and dream are not separate from the world around you. They are part of the same electricity that lights storms, powers machines, and glows in the stars. The difference is only in form, only in channel. Your thoughts are the universe's electricity turned inward, reflecting on itself, imagining, creating. You are both the spark and the one who sees it. In every dream, in every idea, the cosmos is alive in you, flowing through gentle currents that shape who you are and who you may become. The gentle currents of thought and dream are not only the foundation of your inner life, but also the bridge between you and the universe. Each spark in your mind is a continuation of the same energy that flows through stars and storms. The difference lies only in scale and expression. In the vastness of the cosmos, electricity powers galaxies. In the quiet of your brain, it powers imagination. To reflect on this is to realize that your thoughts are not isolated, not separate, but part of a universal current. You are a fragment of the cosmos dreaming itself, alive with sparks that whisper of eternity. These currents shape your sense of self. When you recall a memory, when you imagine a future, when you feel the warmth of connection, it is electricity weaving identity. You are not a fixed thing but a process, not a solid object but a flowing pattern. The self is a river of currents, always changing, always moving, never still. Each day the river flows differently, shaped by new experiences, new ideas, new dreams. And yet within the constant motion there is continuity. The spark remembers, the spark carries forward, and in that memory lies the story of who you are. Dreams remind you of this continuity. At night, sparks weave images from fragments of the past, mixing them with traces of hope and fear. You wander landscapes that do not exist, meet people who are gone, live moments that never were. Yet these dreams feel real because the same gentle currents that carry waking life also carry dream life. The mind does not stop creating when the body rests. It shifts its rhythm, composing poetry in sparks. Dreams are the imagination of electricity, the silent art of neurons, the painting of the mind upon its own canvas of light. The gentle currents also shape your awareness of time. Each second you live is marked by electrical pulses in the brain, patterns ticking like invisible clocks. Your sense of duration, your ability to remember the past and anticipate the future, is born of sparks moving in rhythm. Without them, time would blur, memory would fade, identity would dissolve. Electricity is not only motion but structure, giving you the thread of continuity that ties moment to moment, year to year, life to life. It is the unseen hand that carries you forward through the river of time. Connection with others is also born of these currents. When you speak with someone, when you share a glance, when you feel compassion, it is because sparks move through networks that allow empathy, understanding, love. Your brain mirrors the patterns of those around you, aligning currents in shared rhythms. In conversation, in laughter, in shared silence, electricity flows not only within but between. The gentle currents of thought and dream become bridges of connection, binding lives together in a common current. To be human is to share electricity, to be part of a collective river of sparks. Even silence is alive with current. When you sit quietly, when you breathe deeply, when you let your mind rest, the sparks do not cease. They flow in slower rhythms, waves rolling gently across the brain. These moments of stillness are not emptiness but balance, a harmony of currents that restores the body and mind. In silence, the electricity of thought is not lost but renewed, gathering strength for the next wave of activity. Rest is as much a product of current as action, and dreams rise naturally from its depths. As life unfolds, the currents carry your story faithfully. From childhood curiosity to adult reflection, from first dreams to final rest, electricity sustains you. It allows you to learn, to grow, to love, to create. It holds your memories, fuels your imagination, and guides your choices. Even at the end of life, when the currents finally fade, their memory remains in the atoms and energy you leave behind. The river does not end, it returns to the universe, joining once more with the larger flow. Your thoughts, your dreams, your sparks are never lost. They simply change form, as all currents do. And so when you reflect on yourself, remember that you are not separate from the universe's electricity. The gentle currents of thought and dream are the cosmos flowing through you, shaped into consciousness. You are the starlight turned inward, the storm made tender, the spark made self-aware. You are the dream of the universe, carried in currents of electricity that never rest. To know this is to see yourself not as small but as vast, not as temporary but as eternal, not as isolated but as connected. In every spark, you are part of the infinite. As this story closes, rest in the awareness that your thoughts and dreams are not fragile illusions but real currents, flowing and enduring. They sustain your mind, shape your life, and connect you to everything around you. The gentle currents of thought and dream are the quiet essence of who you are and who you have always been. They are the silent song of your being, the electricity of consciousness, the breath of the universe flowing within you. To live is to dream in sparks, to think in rivers, to glow with the same fire that lights the stars.